Hello. This is Coffee Conversations from Roofers Coffee Shop, and I'm Heidi Ellsworth. Welcome, and I hope you're having a great morning. We are here today to talk about one of the biggest events in roofing, and that is the International Roofing Expo. My favorite event every year is like, prepare yourself. It's going to be bigger and better than anything you've ever done. We're so glad you're here to learn everything about what is happening so you can make the most of this amazing event. We have the leaders for this, for the IRE here today to give us all the inside scoop. In fact, we have some really inside scoop on something that you may all be interested in, and that would be something around a concert that goes on around the IRE. So we have so much to talk about today. I want to thank you all for being here. A few housekeeping things, as always. This is being recorded, so it will be available within 24 to 48 hours. We ask that you share it, get the information out there. After watching this today, you're going to know how important it is to act now to get your plans ready for IRE 2026. Also, the chat is open. This is a conversation, so please tell us who you are, where you're at. Alana, good morning. She's already in the chat. So is Jason. Please, everyone, let us know who you are, where you're calling in from. And if you have any questions or comments, we want them all the way along. You know, we love a few emojis here too. So let's get started. And one of the biggest thank yous that I always have to have is SRS. SRS every year sponsors our IRE preview. They are just such an integral part of IRE. They make it so amazing, and they help contractors every single day. So a big special thank you to SRS for everything they do for the industry. Okay, let's get some introductions going. First of all, I'd like to introduce my very, very good friend, Alison LaValley, the Executive Director of the Roofing Alliance, and also an Executive President. Vice President, I'm going to put that in there, of NRCA. I'll let her introduce herself. Alison, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Heidi, and thank you to everyone out there for joining us today. As Heidi mentioned, I've been with NRCA for almost 38 years of my life, and it's been an honor to work on behalf of this industry, not only for NRCA, but now as Executive Director of the Roofing Alliance. So I look forward to the discussion today to talk about IRE. So thank you, Heidi.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to dive a little bit here in just a second into some history, which I think is going to be really fun. So I'm also very happy to introduce Keenan Perry with SRS. We love Keenan. You're on here every year, Keenan, and we spend so much time with you. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do with SRS.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Keenan Perry. I'm the Director of Event Marketing here at SRS Distribution. I've been with the company for 6.5 years now. And yeah, in my bio, I graduated from St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia. So any of you Northeast folks, I've been all around Philadelphia, Maryland. I'm up in Boston now. But really looking forward to being out in Las Vegas this winter for the IRE. So thank you so much for having us on.
It's going to be great. It is going to be so great. Thank you, Keenan, as always, for everything that you do. And I I mean, this panel today, you guys, is just freaking amazing. So this is so cool. Julissa, I am so excited to have you here today. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do with SRS.
Yes, good morning, everybody. So, Julissa Chavez. I have been overlooking the Hispanic contractor strategy for SRS, been with SRS 10 years, previously as a territory manager, and now I oversee our, like I mentioned, Hispanic contractor strategy. So, really happy to be here and just, talk a little bit about IRE. I know it kind of came up on us a little quicker this year, being in January. So, best time to like go ahead and get going with what's coming. So thanks for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here and so happy to be talking about what all is going on at IRE with the Spanish speaking community. It's pretty powerful and exciting. And definitely last but not least, in fact, the new show manager of the whole 9 yards for IRE, Brandi, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Can you introduce yourself, my friend?
Hey, thanks, Heidi. Thanks for having us. Yes, I'm Brandi McElhaney, and I've been with the show almost 20 years. So I did start when I was 15. So been around for a while, but mainly on the conference end of the show. So I'm super excited with my expanded role to kind of touch all areas of the show. So I appreciate you having me, and we really look forward to the show with you guys.
Yeah, I have to say, Brandi, I think everybody in the industry is just so happy to see you as show manager. You have given so much of your heart and your passion to the roofing industry, and I don't think there's anybody better. So, congratulations, and it's pretty cool.
You, I'll try not to cry, but thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate
okay, no crying on this show today.
it.
Okay, here we go. This is all exciting news. So IRE, it's going to be January 20th through the 22nd, 2026. It is early this year in January, but even though it's early in 2026, I actually want to take a minute and I want to go backwards and I want to talk a little bit about the history of the IRE. We don't do that too often. And it's actually, I'm going to give just a little bit of my story. My very first, and at that point, it would have been the NRCA show, was in San Francisco in 1994. If you can believe that, that was my very first one. And I've never missed a show since then. So we have the expert, someone who's been around and has seen the growth and the how powerful it was having Informa come in. So Alison, can you talk a little bit about the history of IRE and before that the NRCA Expo?
Sure, I'd love to. And speaking of 1994, I was there also in Frisco. So
Yep.
just a little bit of background. Before we collaborated and partnered with Informa, which was a strategic and wonderful move for us as an organization at NRCA, NRCA owned the show. So NRCA was founded in 1886, and we are technically now on our 139th annual convention. So although it's an Informa show now, we still host our own sort of convention. But in 2004, we sold the trade show to Informa. And prior to that, I've been around since late 1987. So we used to handle all the registration, all the exhibitor forms, placing everybody in the exhibit. Like I said, all the education, all the activities and so forth, we handled in-house. So when I started, I was part of the convention department, which of course no longer exists. So it was, we just decided to get out of the trade show business per se, but we're proud to be a sponsor of the International Roofing Expo. And really with the partnership with Informa, and of course, it's been such a joy to work with Brandi these last 20 years. They've been able to take the show, not even double our presence, but triple, right? We averaged maybe, 5 to maybe 8,000 people. And now when you think about that, they're, bringing in anywhere between 15 and 20,000 people annually. The people that we're able to affect and bring into the industry and educate about roofing, it's been phenomenal. So definitely, like I said, a strategic, but one of the best moves that we've made as an organization in this partnership. So yeah, that collaboration's just been terrific.
Yeah, it's so cool. Brandi, I would love for you to kind of add to that. 2004, what this has meant for Informa to be such a big part of the roofing industry. And let's start with a little bit of the history of where we've come, how much we've grown, and then maybe slide right on into 2026.
Okay, sounds good. As Allison mentioned, our partnership is invaluable. I've worked on several other shows as well that had associations involved, and you don't get a better relationship than we have with NRCA. They're always supportive of everything that we want to do for them. And with that partnership, it's helped us grow tremendously in size, exhibitors, partnerships. So it's pretty amazing from where we came. And again, just the partnership makes everything just so much easier.
It is so, and you've brought so many, I mean, so much has changed since 2004. And I mean, so much has changed since 1994. It's pretty amazing. But I've seen a lot of things kind of circle, things that may have been popular 20 years ago come and go. But really, the base of what keeps bringing people back is the amazing education and the events and the camaraderie and networking of IRE. So what are some of the unique and exciting things, Brandi, that we're going to be seeing in 2026 in January?
Yes, I think the most unique thing that we're going to experience in 2026 is we're in the West Hall of the Convention Center, the Las Vegas Convention Center, and it's the newest hall, and it is a beautiful space, and it's very conducive to networking. And our show floor, we designed it to where literally, whether you're on, no matter what side of the hall you're on, there's life in every corner. And we are also transforming some sponsorships because of the facility. And basically, we're wanting to keep like would transform the attendee experience. Like, we don't want you to feel like you're entering a trade show. Our goal is to build a community and get everyone to network and connect. And I think people are going to feel the energy that's going to be different this year.
That is cool. Well, you know what? We are very excited because we have the coffee shop's sound stage right outside the front door. So as everybody walks into the thing, you're going to see us interviewing people, coffee conversations, lots of activity, and really, as you look at the show floor, I think, that is kind of the heart. I mean, everything else, I'm not going to say that that's the heart, but that's kind of the activity center. There's so many things we're going to talk about that are the heart of the show. But Keenan, I would love for you to talk just a little bit about some of the things you're excited about on the show floor and activities that SRS is going to be having going at the show.
Yeah. So you teased it earlier, and I'll get to it towards the end of our chat here. But obviously, the concert is something that we work towards every year, and we host for our customers, and we're really excited about this year's show. So we'll get to that later. But as far as the expo floor and the show itself, we are going bigger and better than ever with our booth presence. So we're really excited to showcase that. We'll be doing a lot of training in our booth. So in past years, we've sponsored the Parlatinos Lounge. Julissa and her team have done a fantastic job throughout the years making that what it is today. And we've actually brought that into and built it as a part of our booth this year. So we're really excited about that, making it this very communal feeling. And then outside of that, we're running education sessions within our booth as well. So whether it's Parlatinos or whether it's not Parlatinos, we'll be running education sessions throughout our booth, which we're really excited about. Outside of just our booth presence, most of you, if you've been to the IRE before, have seen our tailgate. Always a good time to sort of, if you need a break from the craziness that is IRE, we host a tailgate every year right outside usually the entrance of the show hall. We're going to be coming back this year. It's going to be a bit of a different branded experience called the Ice House. It's sort of an homage to the watering holes of the Southeast and Texas and Dallas, which is our home base. So excited to show that off too. So if you have a cowboy hat, I'm not saying bring it, but you might need to bring it.
I love it. I love it. And when we talk about the excitement on the show floor, Brandi, as you're talking about excitement everywhere you look, I don't think there's anything that has higher energy than the Parlatinos. And Julissa,
Absolutely.
whether it's on the show floor or it's out at the XTV or it's in all the events that are going on, tell us what's happening with that.
No, so we're really excited. Going back to what Keenan mentioned, this will be year 4 that we've been doing it. So every year we try to kind of tweak it and learn as we go, right? Best practices. But no, we're excited. I mean, we're definitely going to come in. And Brandi, I know you had messaged me about like, hey, what sessions are happening. I don't have that squared away yet, but we definitely know that, we're going to have the educational sessions during our booth. Generally, what we've also done is we've invited the CF Monterrey Rayados soccer team. So usually we have like Monty, the mascot, who's walking around the show floor at the SRS booth. We have like a Legends player there to kind of do a meet and greet. So we've tried to kind of mash up like education, but also the sporting component of us sponsoring that soccer team. And then also like the fun part of, our day one, we usually have the Para Latinos cocktail hour at the
Mhm.
XTV area, filled with, hey, a chance for us to network, grab some cocktails, some appetizers, and then obviously music's a big component of the culture. So whether you're at the booth, you'll always hear music. That's really big in Latino culture, and I think all of us have been at a Para Latinos activity during IRE. So we're not quiet. We like to, bring out the music. We like to, really, it's become really kind of like our like our annual, like Hispanic roofing kind of like safe space where we can all meet. We all know like, hey, there's a space there for me. So really excited to continue to be part of this great show. And as I'm sitting here, Brandi, I'm just thinking of like the evolution of everything that's happened, right? So in the last, couple of years, and I know we've had a lot of allies. Jason's a great one, for example, when we started to look at, hey, what are the barriers for people that are Latino? Number one, we had to do a big job of just communicating and informing the Hispanic roofing community, like, hey, this is a trade show, you should come. This is what's going to happen. So eliminating like the barriers, the cost of entry to walk the expo was a great thing that, we worked together to make that happen. Also having the staffing, right? With that language barrier, Brandy, I know now there's like registration staff that's bilingual. The signage, as I look at that picture on the screen right now and I see Sala de Expositores, I'm like, wow, like that was never really part of, what the signage looked like at IRE. So I think from a show standpoint of like access, communication, support, signage, educational sessions, the booth. I'm just really excited to be able to grow this and make it bigger than we've done in past years. And I know there's other industries that we also cover under landscape and pool, and now they're coming to us and saying, hey, like we want to kind of do what you guys have been doing on the roofing side. So just excited that we can kind of spearhead and show best practices of all the work that we've really been working on for the last, couple of years. So,
It's so fun when you see other industries following roofing.
right.
That is so awesome. I
Yeah.
love it.
We're
And
doing it right.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Exactly. Well, I think part of that when we're talking, and I'm going to kind of jump to this because I think it just fits in perfect, is we are really, really working on inclusivity, right? How do we get everyone to be a part of the roofing industry and a part of the IRE and really, embrace this awesome industry and culture that we have? And one of the big ways that the NRCA and mostly the Roofing Alliance, well, both, but the Roofing Alliance has been, Allison, with that student competition, which every year, one of our favorite things. I'm sorry, there we go. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about first of all, what NRCA does at the show, but let's start with student competition and then give us the whole download.
Sure. Thank you. The Roofing Alliance hosts, as Heidi said, an annual student competition on the second show day at IRE. And it's an amazing event. We're really kind of trying to brand it as tomorrow's roofing leaders, right? Compete today. Because when I say tomorrow's roofing leaders, because of the student competition and the exposure that these students are having to roofing, we are finding that as they graduate, some of them are actually choosing roofing, right? For a career. They understand a career path. They're not falling into it later. Not that we won't always accept them, but this competition, as an organization, the Alliance reaches out to all the construction management schools throughout the country and encourages them to compete. We'll get between 10 and 15 schools who will compete, and they will submit at first a written presentation. A panel of judges score that. We typically pick the 5 to 6 top teams, and then we invite them and come and present on the second day during the IRE. I think we're going into our 12th year this year. And these students, most of them know nothing about roofing. But then they're given this project, and this year It's sponsored by Dennis Conway and Commercial Roofers. It's the Cannery Casino and Hotel. We always work with a local contractor. We've been in Dallas and done stadium and so forth. And so we've got a lot of good contractors who help us with this. And then these teams who have a mentor from the industry, and then of course their school mentor, work on these presentations. And it's amazing to see what they can learn in a short amount of time. They have to put a project proposal together that includes estimating, project planning, budgeting, talking about all the square foot of roofing and how that works, and including all of the, surrounding areas. There's logistic issues,
Mhm.
right? Always. Are we near an airport? Can they get the cranes up? Depending where are there people in the building? All of these things they have to take into consideration. And it's amazing how they present. And then you'll see there's judges here. So these are industry judges who then, not only after the presentation, ask them specific questions about the project. So they have to kind of act on their feet. And it's amazing what they've been able to do in a short amount of time. And again, to think that they have this breadth of knowledge of roofing and have a keen interest in it. Anybody that's there should be talking to these students, afterwards. They're on the show floor. Take advantage, if you're listening, to talk to these students. Heidi, I know you and your team interview them. And
Yes.
they do an amazing job. Texas A&M won last year, but we have a lot of repeat schools and new ones. So it's a phenomenal event. I encourage everybody. I know it's up against other education sessions. You don't have to stay the whole 3 hours. You can stop in, see one team, and go back to something else if you want. But these students need to see the industry in the room, right? We
Mhm.
can't do this and have 15, 20 people in the room, right? They don't feel the love, right? We need
Yeah,
people.
we need it.
Yes. So again, if you can't come, if you're listening today and you can't attend, please send someone else from your team. Again, even if it's for part of the time, you'll be amazed at what these students can do and how interested they're in roofing, so it's invaluable. And then on top of that, we have a number of NRCA events. We have a roof pack fundraising event that's on Monday, January 19th from 4:30 to 6:30. Our roof pack and our fundraising events for pro-growth candidates in the US Senate and House, it's really important that we help influence the key decision makers that will help our industry. And our Roof Pack fundraising event really does that. We have a live auction, and then we have a silent auction going on in the booth also. And then we've got our award ceremony, and the Alliance has a reception. And so just lots going on. So it's all good.
Y-
Thank you.
And I want to encourage everyone to attend these events. I have to tell you, and I'm just kicking myself right now, Allison. I didn't wear my jacket with the insides
Huh?
that I bought at the auction last year.
Yeah.
So I will have it on when at IRE. I will be wearing that jacket. But that roof pack event is so much fun, and the
Mhm.
auction is great. And we actually have Terry and Deb in the audience today. So thank you, ladies, for being
Yeah.
here.
Yes, they do a terrific job, and just the work that goes into that, and the prizes that are available not only in the auction but in the silent auction in our booth, NRCA's booth. Um, it's stop by and see those. You have a couple days to bid on them, but to be at the live auction is really great. And then the Alliance reception follows right after, and we're in the same location around, so you can go from one to the other, and we hope you can join us. Deb just said hello in the chat, so hi, Deb.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Deb and Terry, please feel free to put the specifics of when that auction is, the date and time. And then, like Allison said, the Roofing Alliance, everyone should be looking at being a member of Roofing Alliance, because it's this kind of thing with the student competition and Clemson and all of the great things. In fact, I have to tell you, the coffee shops is very proud to be a member of the Roofing Alliance. And
Yeah,
so
thank you for your support, and so is SRS, and so is
SRS,
Informa, right?
yeah.
You all support us in the Roofing Alliance and all the work that we're doing, again, to shape that future, right? And bring in this next generation of professionals. We need that, and we need you. So if you're interested, you can always reach out to me, but thank you to those of you on here for your support. It means a lot.
Yeah. So what I would love is everybody in the chat, if you've been to the student competition before, please put a note in there and say how awesome it is. And if you have not been to the student competition before, it is January 21st, 2026 at 8 a.m. and you can come in and out as you're doing other classes. So I'd love you to say, hey, we'll see you there in the chat because we are really trying to get a lot of people to the student competition. There's a lot of other things going on, but that's the great thing. And once you see these students present, you are just hooked. You are hooked. I can't keep Tim, my husband, out of there. He's like, and then can't wait. He just can't wait until the award ceremony to see who wins. And so it's a big deal. I think, the thing that is so important too is just as these kids are learning and getting the education about the roofing industry through these projects, and Dennis Conway is the best.
Yes.
During that time, we also have educational classes going on. So you're going to be in the area. It's easy to slip in and out and do those. But Brandi, I would love for you to kind of talk a little bit about the educational classes. What are some of the highlights? I know I'm so lucky to be on the IRE advisory board and get to help, put my 2 cents in. We have some amazing speakers and keynotes. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So in the regular conference program, we have about 46 sessions. And this year, the hottest topics that we have are state of the industry is always popular, just to see, especially this year with all the changes that we're going to have a up-to-date status on the industry and how things are looking. Innovative workforce strategies. We definitely need help with developing more workforce, and the student competition definitely helps with that. And also legal updates. So of course we have Trent Cotney and Phil Siegel just to come and, that's, everyone's going to be stay tuned to those because it's, there's a lot to talk about. And of course we have our keynote to be announced. We're finalizing some programming for that, and we will announce that soon. And in addition to the regular conference program, we do have 7 areas on the show floor for education. So including like hands-on clinics and things like that. So there's a lot to learn at the show, and we provide a lot of educational opportunities. In addition, National Women in Roofing, of course, is being held 2 days prior to us. So you can come early and stay throughout and get tons of education.
Yeah, it's just, I think when you talk to the contractors, and I think it's one of the things, I mean, Vegas is fun. There's lots of fun events. We're going to talk more about those because we love all of the events, but really the heart is the education, being able to get that education and take that back. So as you are looking at National Women Roofing Days, at the IRE, at the Para Latinos, and in fact, I'm going to switch this slide there because there are all types of classes that are going to be going on in Spanish and everything else. What are some of the strategies, Brandi, for contractors? I know when I've been teaching some classes, sometimes you'll see a whole bunch of contractors there with all the same shirts. And so, they're all from the same company, but then other times they have the strategy of, okay, you go do that, you do that, you do this, you do that. What are some of the strategies that you've heard from contractors on really how to get the most out of the education?
So I think it's important to pre-plan your time at the show because there's so many things happening from especially networking. I mean, this industry is such a small community and just love each other and love to network and share ideas and things like that. So I think having a plan is important. And part of that plan would be to download the app, look at the sessions. We do have the sessions do not overlap with the show floor, so you have dedicated time to attend the sessions and personalize your planner to include, what companies you want to see on the show floor, which sessions you'd like to attend, and look at the networking event, especially if you're new to the show. That's going to be key for to just open conversation and network with your colleagues. Yeah, I think that's it. Just have a plan. Have a plan. Make appointments with the exhibitors in advance.
I was going to say, Alison, you've been doing this for like myself for a while. It really is just maybe how important it is to not just go but to really have a plan. Kind of talk a little bit about that and getting involved with the associations and all the different events.
Right. Yeah. As Brandi said, especially when it comes to the trade show, you walk in there and you're amazed, right? So I think, as she said, it's key to have appointments, whether you want to meet with SRS or, whoever you're going to see that day, maybe take a walk around, but, to have some key appointments, to have some conversations, right?
Yeah.
And I know Brandi will probably touch on it, but there's so many other great events, the Empower All and the welcome reception, which, are other opportunities. And the NRCA awards ceremony, you can sign up for it, it's free. And then it's, at the night of the second day, and you can really see kind of a culmination of some things that have happened, right? Winners of the student competition. We have an MVP awards program and some other award winners, and just kind of see what's happened already in the first couple of days, and then see you can go right to the SRS concert, right? They kind of back to back with each other. So it's just a great evening. And, some of those sessions are early and you might have been out the night before, but you got to make it a point to get up and go, right? You
Yeah.
got to go because
Yes.
it's important. I know they start early, but, Informa does it for a reason. That way you get 2 sessions in the morning before that trade show, right? So it's double the impact. And sign up for specific ones because they want to know like which you're going to. Those rooms have to be set up, for a certain size and so forth so that they can anticipate outcomes. But get up and go. I know sometimes you need a couple extra aspirin. Okay, take them before you go to bed, and then you're good to go. But
It's
and the other opportunities, you'll go to that welcome reception, come to the Alliance reception, go to that roof pack auction and meet people. And it's amazing the relationships you build. They say you never get out of roofing, and it's true. But once you're in, why would you want to leave? Why?
yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
make those contacts now. So
I think we're all an example of that.
that's right. Forever,
Uh,
right?
I know, I love it. Well, and while we have, while we're kind of showing these beautiful pictures, Julissa, it's not always easy, especially if English is not your first language, to make that step and to say, we're going to go to this conference, we're going to do this. And so some of your advice on just for folks who maybe have felt a little trepidation, like, are we welcomed? Is it, am I going to be able to get everything I need? Talk about that and then why it's so important for the Spanish speaking community.
Yeah, so I think we've been able to kind of identify in the industry influencers. So now what you see is you'll see like a Hispanic contractor influencer who's like, hey, meet me at IRE, we'll be there. So I think, the hard part was like getting it going and bringing people to the show. I think we're at the point now where like we have our top vendors who also have like Latino programs. So you've got Owens Corning, you've got Certainty, you've got GIF. So I think it's become like lesser, I guess, pull on our end to make it all happen. But I think, along with our vendor partners, the awareness that, hey, we're going to be hosting like GIF had classes in Spanish at their own booth. So I think it's becoming more like a bigger community is kind of all pitching in to do our
Mm-hmm.
part to get the word out and let people know like, hey, we are here. You should be here if you're in the roofing industry. This is the biggest show of the year. But I think like the influencers too have been like a huge difference from what I've seen with events that, obviously they're reaching audiences that might not know who SRS is, might not know NRCA, but it is, the subcontractors, the labor force that are like following people on TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of a big part of, why we're getting really good results with people knowing the information and, knowing that, hey, here's an Expo Pass code and you should be there too. So I think it's becoming a community of just like, hey, let's share, the information and let's all meet there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's come so far. And Julissa, you've been such a huge part of that, to
Absolutely.
make that happen. And I love it. I love the culture, the richness that we are seeing within roofing is so cool. And I have to tell you, 10 years ago, right now, 10 years ago, as of September, myself and I'm gonna get teary. three other ladies were putting together the first ever National Women in Roofing Day. And it was in New Orleans. I'm going to say now, I'm going to be like, oops, where were we? But it was the very first one. This year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of National Women Roofing Days now. It's not just one day, it's two, and sometimes it just bleeds over because we have all these women coming in and they stay throughout IRE. It is just talk about changing the industry. And so please, as you are making your plans, look at January 17th and 18th. It's going to be at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas. Now, registration is separate. So you need to go to nationalwomeninroofing.org to register. But of course, Informa will have all that information. Roofers Coffee Shop and all the coffee shops will have all that information of how to get to National Women in Roofing Days. It's one of the most empowering, powerful days that you will ever experience. And I am just to let you guys know, I am very honored. I will be one of the keynotes to talk about the last 10 years and how we started and what happened. So,
It's awesome.
yeah,
That's
it's going to be
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. We're pretty excited. Jennifer Stone's on this call right now. I just saw her here. She'll be up on stage with me. And we'll also have Sherry Carlazzi and hopefully Jennifer Ford Smith, who were, and Ellen Thorpe, who were the ones who started it 10 years ago, if you can believe that. Seems like it's been
It
forever.
does not seem like 10 years.
It does not. And
I'm
I have to
flying.
say, it doesn't. I have to say, it was the NRCA. I can remember going to the NRCA and saying, hey, we want to have a day for women in roofing. And NRCA was like, yes, we'll totally support that. Then I went to Informa and said, hey, we want to do this day. Can we add a day in front of your beautiful, huge conference? And Informa was like, yes, let's do it. So it was an industry come together that's pretty exciting for everybody there. So if you have, let us know in the chat if you're planning on going to National Women in Roofing Days. I think Megan already put that in. And also, if you have any questions on registrations or anything that we've talked about, so we are not even close to done. We have so much more to talk about. So we also, Brandi, right after National Women Roofing Day, it slides right into, and a lot of these women and men from all over go to the Community Service Day. Let's talk a little bit about what you're doing this year for that.
Okay, yeah, we can spend the whole hour just on the networking that is taking place at the show, but it does it does start off for me with the Community Service Day. We are in the 17th year of it, and basically our attendees come a day early and roll up their sleeves and help the community. We normally replace roofs on houses, not on that day prior to, but it's an amazing day. It's my favorite day of the year where we can just go side by side with our industry partners and just help the community. So it's always a very rewarding day for sure.
Yeah, and it's sponsored by
Sika
Sika.
for 17 years.
Yeah. 17 years. Yeah, it's been amazing. So this is another event that is really important that you sign up for early, right? It sells out.
Yes, it does. Yes.
So
And
everybody,
you won't regret it, I promise.
yeah, we're going to have more on registration here in just a minute because this is really important that you get in there very early. Okay. We were talking about the networking, and I want to kind of go back to some of the networking events. And one of them that the coffee shops is very proud to sponsor is the First Timers event. Many years ago, I talking with Informa, I said, you know, we want to be a part of this. We really believe in getting first timers there. It is such a cool event and so important for everyone who's to kind of start learning and getting to know people who are also there for the first time and network. Brandi, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So first timers reception, it's a half an hour prior to the welcome party. So you have your dedicated 30 minutes just to kind of network. And it is on the first day of the show. So the connections that you make, you know, the first night, you can build them, you know, throughout the show. And I am really excited about our welcome reception this year. You don't have to leave the building. we are actually just one floor up from the trade show floor. You just go up the escalators and it's on a terrace that overlooks the Sphere, which is an amazing, amazing venue. So we are super excited about that. Again, Vegas is a little, Vegas is busy. So just transporting all of our folks over to the welcome party. It's going to be super easy this time. You just go up escalators and go network, and it's going to be amazing.
And so for those first timers, I know we already kind of gave some advice, but Keenan, you are the events guru. You are at so many different shows, so many different things. As we're talking about these first timers who are coming in, what's some of your advice for them on just how to make the most of the IRE? What's some of the
Yeah.
things you recommend?
Yeah. I think you need to come in with an open mind and sort of like we talked about before of, you build a checklist of sort of your must-see sessions, your exhibitors, download the app. It's a great place to find resources to do that. But build in some time to go explore the trade show hall. And we've been talking a lot about how the roofing industry is one big community, but it's really not that big. It's pretty small. We all know each other, or if we don't know each other personally, we know someone who knows someone. And so, go be open-minded and visit booths that you maybe wouldn't normally visit or sessions that you wouldn't normally go to, because you never know who you might meet or what you might find out. And if it's not the tool or the session for you, maybe they know of the right person or the right tool or the right session to go to. And same sort of thing with our Par Latinos program is, hey, we've got this resource for this one group of people. We can use that as leverage to introduce them to other people within the industry, whether it's manufacturers, vendor partners, whoever. We see ourselves as a resource to introduce a whole customer base to the rest of the industry. So if you're a first timer, I'm not saying you have to come to the SRS booth, but we do have relationships with everyone, whether it's customers, vendors, manufacturers, resource groups, you name it. We've got relationships there. So sort of plugging ourselves, but the vendors, they all have relationships. Companies like us, they have relationships. So stay open-minded, visit booths, talk to people, and just try and learn as much as possible. And we're in Vegas. Have some fun.
Have some fun.
Let loose a little bit.
Having fun is not a problem.
No.
When you kind of think about, something we hadn't even talked about, all the hospitality parties that go on with so many manufacturers and across the board with the industry, those are every night. And so that, to your point, Keenan, walk the show floor, find out what's going on, go to those hospitality parties, have some fun. They're all over Vegas.
Yeah, if you walk into a booth and nobody's, well, let's say the sales guys aren't doing their jobs and trying to sell to you, go just tap them on the shoulder, strike up a conversation, and start asking questions, because that's the best way to find out about sort of what's going on and what's hot this year at the IRE. So yeah, just make sure you go out and talk to people.
Yeah. And I will tell you that soundstage that's going to be right at the entrance as you walk in is sponsored by SRS. And so we'll be having interviews and coffee conversations throughout. The students will be in there throughout the entire show. So there's so much, like Brandi said at the beginning, to see as you're going through. I would say to another, just to kind of another really important event that was actually relatively new the last couple of years is the Empower All reception. And Allison, you mentioned that. I'm on that committee. Actually, I'm helping with sponsorships for that right now. So be ready, everybody. You're going to get an email. But it's just such a great event that really talks about the beauty of the diversity of the industry and inviting everyone to this reception to empower all types of people to be involved in roofing. You want to talk just a second about that?
Sure. And I think you covered it. You know, it's just an opportunity where your welcome is a little bit smaller setting, right? Versus
Yeah.
the welcome party, but you know, it embraces everybody who is there. And another thing, if you look on NRC's website and with the Empower All, is there's a scholarship available through the Empower All initiative, and it helps someone attend convention and pays for a super pass. And you know, helps kind of lighten the load in traveling there. And so, you know, there's more information at nrca.net and you can learn about that, or, you know, call me or someone on staff. We can help you with that and how to get more involved with that and make sure you're, you know, invited to the Empower All. So, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
right, I believe it's right before, Brandi, correct me if I'm wrong, right before the welcome party. Is that correct?
Yes, that
Okay,
is correct.
got that
Yes.
right. Yes. So, yeah, so we're not competing with anything, but again, another opportunity to network and then go straight to the welcome party and
Yeah.
another opportunity. Yeah, so
It's and to that point, Brandi, when we're talking about Empower All, really everything you've done, Latino initiatives, let's just kind of talk about that a little bit too.
Yes, as Julissa mentioned, they sort of SRS spearheaded this movement, and I'm super excited about it. Speaking of community, that segment of our market is just so supportive of each other, and we're really excited to gain momentum. Each year we do more and more for this segment, just to welcome them in, like for the signage to be in Spanish, exhibitors identifying who in their booth speaks Spanish, info desk people. We have directional people that speak Spanish. We also, this is new for the show, we have a dedicated customer line for Spanish speaking attendees. We created a Latino advisory board to tell us, like, what does this segment of your industry needs? We want to address their specific needs. We came up with an idea and they were like, oh no, that doesn't make any sense. And we would have never known that. So we're super thankful for their support. And it's just, again, they just want to come together and support each other. We also have expanded our educational track to include a Spanish speaking session within every track of the regular conference program. And we're also going to put some education on the show floor as well in Spanish. One thing that we're also really excited about, we used it last year for the first time. It's a translation service called Wordly, and it's a real-time translation technology to where if you want to attend, if you only speak English, Spanish, you can enter a class of English speaking and it'll translate it for you right then and there. So it's a free service that we're offering, and we're super excited about this whole industry segment to be, we're building, it's growing each year. It's amazing.
Yeah. Brandi, you all have done, Informa has done so much, and it's been so encouraging and just uplifting to see how this has all come together. And I wanted to mention, we mentioned the scholarships for Empower All to attend IRE. National Women in Roofing also have scholarships for women to attend National Women in Roofing Days and then also get a pass for IRE. So there's a lot of opportunities out there if you haven't been able to attend. If you're not sure you can attend, there's justification letters, there's scholarships, there's all kinds of things that will help you get there. I do want to note that thank you, Deb and Terry. They put information in the chat for the roof pack. Also, they're taking donations for their auction. So that's a great way to get your company's name out there, is to help support by giving to the different auctions. I also, you know, Keenan, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here, and I probably shouldn't because I'm the mom, but the someone in here, Deb, asked what about Megan Ellsworth music again at the XTV, and you said it's up to Megan. So
yeah.
Nice.
Megan's played for us the last 2 or 3 years, I think. Now she's laughing about it. She's played for us the last couple of years, and just going back, you know, we're one big, you know, family here in the roofing industry, and it's big, but it's small, and we love supporting our fellow industry colleagues, and if they've got outside passions, Yeah, we absolutely want to support that. So Megan approached me a couple of years ago and she said, "Hey, I actually play. Would you be interested in having me?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." And then last couple of years, she's showed up year after year and just rocked her heart out, and everyone's had a great time. And she had a full band this past year, and yeah, so
Nice.
Yeah.
Megan, let's chat offline, but yes, we would love to have you again out in Vegas.
We'll have the
Okay.
crowd there, Keenan. We'll have the
Yeah,
crowd there. That'll be
good,
good.
good.
I also want to say to Danielle Griffin, who's putting lots of great information in the chat, thank you. She works with us every day. She's absolutely amazing. There's all kinds of things in here about Spanish, about registering. And Megan did say it's the tomato soup. That's the
Yes.
band. So watch for that. Okay, let's get down. We're getting down there. Let's get down to brass tacks. Brandi. We're gonna first of all, I'm gonna bring the elephant out of the corner. I don't think it's really in the corner, but for anyone who doesn't know, we are actually sharing the convention hall during this week with World of Concrete. So World of Concrete's one of the largest trade shows out there, and it's going to be actually taking up, I think, 3 of the halls and a lot of the parking lot space. But we have this beautiful new West Hall that is brand new, sparkling, big. It's beautiful. But what that means is it's busy. So Brandi, what should people be doing right now?
So in addition to World of Concrete, I mean, Vegas is just busy normally, basically, but the SHOT Show's there and a couple of other shows. So our messaging has been book your housing now, book it now, so you don't have to worry about it later. Just plan ahead. And actually our registration is going to be open in a couple of weeks. So there's a lot of things that are coming up really soon. But like I said, most importantly, I would book your housing.
Yeah, I have to tell you, we've already booked ours. We booked it a long time ago, and I've talked to a lot of people who, are looking and making sure that they get their housing. And registration, we're saying it's going to be open a couple weeks, so mid-September.
The first week of maybe second week of September. Yeah.
Second week of
We're
September.
almost there. Yes.
And that's where you can sign up for the student competition. You can sign up for all your classes, you register, all the different things you need to do. So as soon as that opens, take your time, do your planning as we put everything out there, because that's really, and Danielle's just put it in the hotel information. So get that happening right away. As we kind of look at this, then one of the things I just really quick want to touch on, and then we have a big announcement that we're going to do. But one of the things I just kind of last thoughts from our amazing panelists is we have a lot going on in the country, in the economy, in our industry, just across the board with contractors facing opportunities and challenges every single day. How does the IRE really help to support all those contractors, and how can they, I know we've talked about it a lot, but kind of looking on the bigger global reason to take the time out of business to come to the show, spend the money to come to the show, because we know there's money involved. What does that do for the contractor's business and also kind of taking on these challenges? So Brandi, let's start with you and we'll work through everybody.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, there's lots going on these days, and I think our partnership with NRCA is super important with that. Like we're supporting them in workforce initiatives, any critical challenges in the industry. Their mental health initiative is a really big one that we're focusing heavy on this year. We just want to meet the needs of everyone that's there, and part of that is the education program. So we bring the best of the best speakers and the industry experts out to tell you how to manage an ICE raid, or just anything that you're dealing with in the industry. It's going to be at the show. It's going to be, and again, you can hear it from an industry expert, your peers. They are super forthcoming with information. They truly want everyone to succeed. And I think that's different in this industry. Other industries I've worked in, that isn't the case. So I think it's, again, that community that just wants everyone to succeed.
Yeah, I I'm 100%. Julissa.
No, I think going back to what Brandi mentioned, and I think Brandi, when we did the focus group, we talked a little bit about like, hey, from a Latino voice, these are the things that I think, we need to bring in the expert, subject people when it comes to legal, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to how to get work visas, right? Like these are the things that I think, outside of the industry of manufacturers, the networking, the fun that we do, I think, that's also a big piece that is needed. Just general information on, what do we do? Going back to what Brandi mentioned, if there's, a nice situation at a job site and these are my crews and I don't know what to do, right? So I think those are some of the things that I'm excited to see. And Brandi, thanks for putting that focus group together because I think that's definitely something that we needed to bring to the table. Just gathering information that is definitely needed so that we can, pivot and know, what our resources are when those situations happen.
So important. Alison.
You've got to be there. It's, anybody can say it's about the relationships, right, in the community, and it is. But one conversation, right? One conversation, one new relationship can literally change the trajectory of your business.
Yeah.
In the amount of people and the amount of opportunities that you have in that one setting over the course of those 3 days, you can't find anywhere else. I mean, you can, the education's there, and someone might say, well, I can get education virtually now, right? Or I can talk to someone via email now. True. But to do that in person and have the doors open for whatever facet, contractor, manufacturer, distributor, other resources in one place, like I said, all it takes is one conversation to build that relationship and, to build a collaboration later that then changes your business model or just helps you improve. And you can't do that anywhere else. Just can't.
Wow. Okay. Nugget, everybody, that was a huge nugget. Take that away. That was awesome. Keenan,
Yeah.
your thoughts on how this changes things.
Absolutely. I mean, partnerships and our relationship with our customers and our vendor partners, I mean, it's exactly that. It's a partnership. So we see that if we can help our customer grow their business, it's going to help us and it's going to help our vendors. So we're all in this together, truly. And it doesn't matter about your backgrounds or where you came from before this. A rising tide lifts all boats. If truly we all have one common goal, which is to make this industry the best possible industry that we can, then we're all going to turn out better because of it. So truly, there's no better place to do that than the IRE. Like Alison said, you're never going to be in a place with all the manufacturers, all the contractors, all the distributors, all the outside groups too that aren't in that list. It's really amazing. So yeah, I think we all just need to come together and support one another.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, you guys, you're amazing. Thank you so much for all of this. And we now have a big announcement. This is the first place that it's being announced. So the coffee shops are breaking news right now. And so Keenan, I'm going to switch the slide. Are you ready? Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. Happy to announce the official SRS distribution concert happening in Las Vegas at the IRE, headlined by none other than Parker McCollum, with Priscilla Block opening up for him. It is the #1 concert event at the IRE. It's January 21st. I believe that's Wednesday of that week. And it's at live at the Chelsea Theater in the Cosmopolitan. So a little bit further down the strip, but I promise you it will be worth it. It's going to be a great time. Parker just released a new album. So I think he's going on tour soon here, and he's pretty excited to play for us. So we're excited for this one.
This is going to be great. And I have to give a smile to Adam, who just said, I'm going to come for Megan's music, but I guess I could stick around for Parker. So
Awesome.
This, congratulations, Keenan and Julissa on another great concert. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so great, this whole show. So I want to say thank you to everyone. I do want a really quick look after one more year in Vegas in 27, and then we'll be in New Orleans in 2028. So just some future dates, some things to think about. I do want to let everyone know that the coffee shops will be there the entire time. And so register now for National Women in Roofing Day. Go to nationalwomeninroofing.org to register. I'm not sure if registration is open, but it will be. Keep checking there. And also the coffee shops will be streaming live from National Women in Roofing Day. 'Cause we know there are some people who can't make it. Like Allison said, you should. It is the best thing you can do for your business. But if you can't, we're going to be streaming live, not only from National Women in Roofing Day, but throughout IRE. So we'll keep you in tune with everything that's going on. Again, Allison, Keenan, Brandi, Julissa, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Heidi.
for having us.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you,
y'all.
SRS. You rock. We will see you all next week for Coffee Conversations on building success, a contractor's journey in restoration. That's going to be really cool. Contractor's perspective. And thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.